Hello there, I'm Carrie Rhoades with Trinity Stamps. We are so excited to be partnering with Scrapbook and Cards for their partner celebration. We are going to be sharing some of our dies and stamps from our latest release. They have a bit of a Halloween theme, and I'm going to be making a jack-o'-lantern shaped shaker card with you today. So let's jump right into the fun. So the first thing I want to show you from our brand new fall release is our pumpkin shape card. This is actually the die set I'm going to be sharing with you today. We're going to be making a card with this, a shaker card. And I just think this is a really fun die set. So I have a few examples I'm going to share with you using this die set so you can kind of see what it looks like. This is kind of the basic way you can use this. You can see it has the pumpkin shape card, so it's going to cut this for you. You don't have to, put your die over the paper on the fold. It's going to cut that for you with this largest die. And then we have the face of the pumpkin, or it can be a jack-o'-lantern right here. And that's going to do these little lines in there to give it that detail. Those ridges that we have in the pumpkin. We also have dies to cut out the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. You can see the eyes, the nose, and the mouth here. And then we also have these shapes here that create a shadow. And then we have our stem. So we'll be playing with those shadow layers so you can see how all that works. And you can use the pieces for the eyes, nose, and mouth to cut them out from the face of the pumpkin to make it a jack-o'-lantern. You can also die cut them to make it a separate color to inlay in there. So there is that. You can also just make this for Thanksgiving. It doesn't have to be, with the face. So I used our Simply Sentimental Thankful to put on top of that, added some twine and some of our confetti, and then you have a Thanksgiving card. So there's another idea. Another thing in this die set is this die right here. That is a die so you can make it look like it's been cut open like you would do if you were carving a jack-o'-lantern. But it's also a really great place to add a gift card. So you can just put some foam tape or adhesive on 3 sides, and then that now becomes a gift card little hiding spot. And also you can see just by changing out the way I did my die cut, you can really give your jack-o'-lantern a unique face. Now here is one of my favorites. This is a light up card. You can see right here in the bottom, there's a little tea light. There's actually dies in this set right here and a little flame right there and this little tiny ellipse that goes at the top to create a little tea light that you can put in there. And since it's, a tea light, I thought I might as well make this a light up card. And this is actually the new candle light from Pear Blossom Press. So all you need to do is blow on it and it goes out. So then on the inside, I added blow out your candle. Yes, really. This is actually a stamp set we have called Hey Cupcake that has the push and then this sentiment, and you can light up that cupcake as well with the candlelight. So I thought it'd be really fun to use it with the pumpkin, and I liked using pattern paper for the face of the pumpkin and the black outline. So you can see again, I have a different little face just by having the eyes either angled in or angled out, or putting them sideways. You can get completely different looks. So those are 4 ideas, but I'm going to do a 5th one for you today, and we're going to do some non-traditional Halloween colors for that one. So also in my card today, I'm going to be using a brand new stamp set that I wanted to show you. It's our Simply Sentimental Halloween. So we have this for lots of different occasions in our Simply Sentimental line. And really what it is a stamp set that has the same word repeated multiple times in different fonts. And it's usually large, but we also have 2 smaller ones and one that is quite small right here in that typed font, as well as several sub-sentiments that you can put with the largest word, in this case, Halloween. There's also a coordinating die set with all of our Simply Sentimentals that's also a standalone die set. So you can stamp out the word Halloween and then die cut it out with this die right here. It's going to look like this. Okay. Then you can also die cut out the word Halloween. This die has all the letters in this same font to die cut out that word. I have already used this one on a card, so I'm going to show you this one right here, this Halloween. So you can see it's die cut out with the die, and I'm getting each individual letter, which, by the way, I like to back the paper with our rip and stick sheets so that it'll be a sticker on the back. And then I can use the shadow layer to stick all those down onto. So that's the die cut version, and we have that for each of those large Halloween words. And now let me show them to you side by side. So here you have the stamped and die cut out word, and here you have the all die cut out word. So I'm going to be using this set today in my card. I'm going to use the stamp set and the die set. So we'll bring that back in shortly. Also, I wanted to show you our new oh so spooky gnome set. There's a little spider hanging from a thread. I'm going to use that today, but these create some die cut gnomes. So I thought I would show you what those looked like. Aren't they really cute to put on your cards and scrapbook pages and little crafty projects? So you can make either the witch or the ghost with this die set. And this is kind of a building set because we previously released the springtime gnome. So you have a gnome you can put bunny ears on or hold a flower pot. It has Easter eggs. So that's really fun. But I'm going to use that little spider today. So I wanted to show you that. And then also in the realm of shape cards, we happen to have a circle shape card. Here it is. It creates a donut. You can see mine is very well used. I love this die. But you have this piece right here that creates a circle shape card, right? So we have some new add-ons in this release that you can make something besides a donut. And we've already have a sunshine, but one of those is Oh My Pie. It is giving you all the dies to make some really cute pies. So these are really fun for the holidays. And we happen to have a stamp set for pies also, so you can get those punny little sentiments. It's called Happy Day. And it is just really sweet for an addition to this. But you can see you've got little fruits and whipped cream you can put on there. And then you can do some different things with your pie crust. There's a lattice. You can do the little venting holes. You can make a pecan pie, peach or apple pie as well. So those are the circle shape card add-on Oh My Pie dies. Isn't that cute? Okay, if you like that and you like the idea of the donut, we also have a new donut add-on, and this is You Donut Scare Me. So you have a bunch of dies here that you can make all different kinds of spooky little donuts, or even just round shape cards. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be a donut, but we're going to call them donuts for the purpose of this video. So this is our eyeball. You can see the circle here with the smaller inner circle that creates like the pupil. And then we have this die giving you all of those red veins you can glue down or use the rip and stick sheets on the back so you can turn them into stickers. And this piece right here, this wonky round piece, is from the original circle shape card right here. This is going to create the frosting on your donut, or we have a pizza stamp and die set. You can turn this into a pizza or a bagel. You can do a bagel. We have sesame seeds here if you want to do a bagel. All right, so let's look at more of these spooky donuts. We obviously have the face right here and the stem so that you can create the jack-o'-lantern. Very cute. These would also be really fun to do with kids. They're pretty simple to do. We have these little arms you can cut out. See how there's no cut line at the base? So you can have these, you know, kind of hold something, or you can turn them the other way and have them face in. And then we have the eyes to make our little ghost donut. Okay, let's see. Here's another really easy one, the spider web. And if you have any kind of spider dies or stamps on hand, you can also add that. We have a really cool big spider in this release called Web Designer. He could go on there. He'd cover up the whole thing. All right, here's two of my favorites. The last two. This is, here we go, the eyeballs and the teeth. I love the teeth. So you've got two different dies here to make the teeth, and you're going to put that between the frosting layer and the donut layer. And then there's a die here that makes 5 different eyes. Obviously, I cut it multiple times and added lots of different colors for like the pupil of the eye. So they kind of looked like those candy eyeballs. Okay, then last but not least, we have what I call Frankie. And we have his scars, his bolts, and his mouth. And then you use the 2 eyes on here that are the biggest. They're the same size. Well, he could have different size eyes, whatever you want to do, right? And that's what is here. Now for the hair, all I did was take that same frosting layer that is this part from the original circle die set. I just die cut it from a strip so it would line up with the top here. And then I took my scissors and cut some triangles out of it to give him some hair. Really quick and easy to do. So there's 6 spooky and yummy and fun new donut cards. I think this one is so much fun, and these dies really could be used on lots of other things that you might already have to kind of give them a spooky little vibe, right? Yeah. Okay. We have one more add-on to this circle die set. It's a stencil called Full Moon and a die set called Full Moon. So this circle is going to be the exact size as that entire circle card. And then you can stencil the moon right onto it. Or you could do green and blue and have it look like the earth. And then you can stencil the witch and the bats and die cut them out as well. So here's that card. Look at that. You see the subtle moon in the background. And then because this is a stencil, you could do a lot of really fun things. You could do pastes and you can do an ombre effect. And yeah, it's just really fun. This saying, witching you weren't so far away, is from one of our new gnome stamp sets. We're kind of known for our gnomes. It's probably one of my favorites from this release. It's called Hocus Pocus Gnomes. You see it has a bunch of Halloween sentiments, a crescent moon, and then these 3 really fun gnomes, the witch on the broom, the witch stirring the cauldron, and the little wizard. So I do have a card that I'll show you with this as well. So that's our new circle add-ons. If you really like shaped things, I have 2 others I wanted to show you. This is our pumpkin candy bucket. This is just so cute. It really is going to fit on your A2 size cards or bigger and be just a bucket that looks like a pumpkin, or you can add the face of the jack-o'-lantern as well and turn this into a bucket full of candy. I have a sample here. Here is that sample. You can see all the different candies in there. We have our gummy worm, our candied pumpkin, a candy corn with a little layer to put all your 3 different colors on, 2 wrapped candies, and a lollipop. Isn't that fun? These 2 pieces will be the kind of opening and lid to your jack-o'-lantern. And then we have this ellipse right here that you can use to create that shadow at the bottom. So there is that. I thought this was just really fun. You could turn this into a shaker as well, but that is just so cute. Okay, and then we have some new embellishments. This is the pack I'm going to be using today, which kind of gives away what we're doing for the card with the non-traditional colors. These are our pastel ghosts. So that's our new embellishment. And we have some other mixes for the holiday season that I wanted to make sure you saw as well. We have our venti pumpkin latte no whip. You can see there's little cups in there and sprinkles as well. And then we have our corny sprinkles. Isn't that fun? All the candy corn colors. And if you like that one, you'll probably like our candy corn cuties. This one has little clay candy corns in different sizes. They all have these fun little faces, and then you've got some sprinkles in the color white in there as well. All right, then we have our turkey trot for Halloween embellishment, different sized turkeys, and then also hearts in orange and brown that are also clay. And then we have our little boo sparkle embellishment, a bunch of little ghosts, and then you have some stars that are iridescent like confetti and sparkles in confetti as well. The ghosts are in different sizes. Love it. Okay, then we have our, let's see, non-toxic. This one has some little bottles with like the skull and crossbones in it. It has cauldrons, and then it's got some confetti and sparkles in it as well. And then we have our spooky sweets in orange and black and white. I love these like little candies, and they're in different sizes. And then you've got your confetti in there as well. Last but not least, we have our Halloween shaker pop. This one is exclusive to the Trinity Stamps shop. It's not going to be found anywhere else. And it's got all the fun Halloween colors. I do have a sample with this to show you. It's another shape card, and it is a pretty cool die set. So the die set is called Tip and Sip Coffee Shaker. Now the important part of this shaker is this die right here. It's gonna hide and be like a magic trick with your shaker card. So here's the coffee cup, and you can see this piece right here is covered by our belly band. But when you tip this up, those shaker bits, our little Halloween shaker pop, you can see it starts to disappear, and we have less and less because they're getting trapped in this magical shaker part. So then you can just tip it down, and you know there's a little reservoir here, and if you know how it works, you can get them to come back and refill. Isn't that fun? So that's another die set that you could use on a card, in a scrapbook page, in a mini album, something like that. So that's the Tip and Sip Coffee Shaker with our new embellishments. And if you love shaker cards, let me share a few of those with you. Here's that Hocus Pocus gnome set and our non-toxic embellishment mix. I added just a little bit more of a green confetti mix to it, and had that just like bubbling up all around her. This is also that Simply Sentimental Halloween. There's one image in there where you can color in the letters, and then there's the tiny word happy to go with it. Okay, speaking of shakers, I have a card with these two mixes right here, and it is featuring our new A6 shaker frame, or it's a layer for your A7 card like I've made here. So A6 is just 4.5 by 6.5. So it can layer on top of your A7 cards, or you could make an A6 card itself. And this is a new stamp set in our line right here called I Love You a Latte. And it's a stamp and die combo. You can layer on the letters there. We also have, as far as full panel shakers that are new, we have a 5 by 7 size. So it is the same exact size as this card. So we have both of those, as well as all the other sizes. A2 in a full panel and a layering size, mini slimline, and circles. So lots of shaker pouches at Trinity Stamps because we love our embellishments. So I think we're going to clear all this out now that I've shared a lot of our Halloween goodies and fall goodies. There is more from our latest release, so be sure to check that out in the shop. And let's go ahead and make a shaker card. Okay, for the first step of our pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern shaker card, we're starting out with this face of the jack-o'-lantern, and I'm doing pink. Remember to match my pastel ghost shaker mix that I'll be using, and I'm going to ink up the edges with some worn lipstick Distress Oxide ink and the Blending Buddy brush from Trinity Stamps. These are wide brushes. They have a rounded bristle head, and it makes such quick and easy work of adding ink for creating backgrounds or stenciling and all of that. So we just love them, and we have color clips available. You can see there in the lid as well to help you sort them by colors. So you can have one for each kind of color grouping. I have a whole set for my Distress Oxide inks and one for dye-based ink. So there we have the pumpkin all inked up. I'm actually going to do two. I'm going to use the second one on the inside of the card. So I'll go ahead and real quick just add a little bit of color around here, and we'll have that ready for when we do the inside of the card. I always like to put a little something on the inside of my cards, so the fun continues on the inside. Okay, so you saw how easy that was. Next, what we need to do is create the face of our jack-o'-lantern. So we're going to bring in the die set. All right, we're going to use one of our pumpkin faces and actually make a face. So we'll take the dies and lay them out where we want them, and use a little bit of low tack tape to get things to stay where we want them. Here's our cute little nose. and then our mouth. And this is going to be the window part of our shaker now. And then we'll bring in the die machine and go ahead and get that all cut out. All right, this is my platinum die cut machine, and I'll just run that right through to cut out the face. Now, we don't need to save the pieces for the project that we're doing, but you could save these and use them on another project if you wanted. But one thing to note is that you will have that kind of cut line through them where the die has, done the detailing for us. So that could affect you using them, especially on the mouth, because it actually cuts the mouth into some sections. You can see there. So I'm just removing this tenderly. I don't want to mess up my any of the cut lines or my paper, tear it a little bit. And there we go. We have our jack-o'-lantern face. And the next thing I want to do is just give that face a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of sparkle. And I'm going to do that with some Ink on 3 pixie dust, liquid pixie dust. I'm just going to shake that up. And then I like to use this window sheet. I use this a lot, as you can see. And I'll just put a few drops on there. We have a small space. We don't need too much. And then just a titch of water. And then I'll bring in a paintbrush. And I'm going to use that to just tap this right on there and just give a little bit of interest to our little face. He's pretty cute already, but I like a little bit of splatter. And then you can also just kind of drag this off the edge. Another good paintbrush you can use is something that's a little scraggly. If you really want like a fine mist of your splatter, this is a good way to get a fine mist of it. Like that. All right, let's take a look at the splatter. And then we'll just wipe that, so we don't get some where we don't want it. And then because we're working straight into making a shaker, I'll go ahead and heat set that, dry it. And then the next thing we're gonna do is put a window sheet on the back of this to turn it into a shaker. For my window sheet, I just cut out a circle with my die that I knew would cover up that face. And then I'm going to add some liquid glue all around to adhere that down. You could use tape runner, whatever adhesive you prefer. Just like that. Okay, we have one more step we're going to do before we turn this into a shaker. We're going to add these shadow pieces. I definitely want to show you how this goes on because they're really a cute added touch. Okay, so I like to put them on after I cut the jack-o'-lantern face. Let me just show you. I like to add them behind the die cut piece. Okay, so what we need is just a little bit of glue on the outer edge. That's what this glue press is so nice for. And then because I have a window sheet, it's doubly helpful because it's really easy to scoot that over and get it just where I want it. So we have a shadow layer for the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. And when you are doing one that is lit up, like that candle one I showed you, it is really nice to have this done with kind of that yellow color, and it adds that look of the light shining on the inside. All right, so this is our little nose piece. I'm going to bring in my tweezers, I think, to hold this for me because it's a little guy, and we'll just add the glue. And you can also do this, without a window sheet, which is what I did for the candle card, and it will give you the same effect. All right, now for the mouth, we have quite a big area, but you really want to use a glue that's going to dry clear for this, because some of it will show on the window sheet, most likely. I tried to just put a little bit, but chances are on some of these areas you'll see a little bit of that glue. So if you have a good glue that you like that dries clear, this is the time where it matters. Okay, there we have this little shadow layer. Isn't that fun? That added detail. Okay, now we are ready to create our shaker. So we're going to need some foam. I have some foam strips here from Trinity Stamps. These have a really good foam in them that allows you to really bend them. And if you're making a shaker that is something thin, a thin frame, which a lot of like shaped things can have a thin frame, these work really well for that. So I'm just going to curve this around. I don't want my shaker area to be really big. I want to confine my shaker bits to the smallest area possible. Otherwise, I feel like I have to fill it up more than I would necessarily need to. All right, now I'm going to put some more around here because I do not like a card that is saggy in spots. I want it to be very sturdy. So that's why I'm going to add these extras. Also, I'm going to make sure that my ends of my foam tape are overlapping or touching really well, because part of the shaker elements that I'm going to add are shaker pop beads, and they're tiny. I don't want them to somehow accidentally get out. That does not make for a cute card when you have shaker bits falling out. I don't know, maybe there is a certain kind of shaker that you would want the shaker bits falling out. I mean, that could be part of the fun of it, but not this one, not this one. All right, so we've got our shaker bits, or our foam tape there. We're ready for the shaker bits. Remember, I'm using the pastel ghosts, so let me bring those in. And I'm going to put, actually, the shaker elements, I'm going to put right onto my card base. So I'm going to fold that up first. I want to make sure my crease is nice and folded, that my card isn't going to flap open later. So this is the time to do it before I stick anything down. And I'm using the Teflon crease tool from Trinity Stamps. It's just a really nice thing to hold. It's got a heavy weight to it. Doesn't leave a shine mark or anything like that. All right, so back to our ghosts here. I'm going to put some in the center and make sure that they're not overlapping. I want a flat layer so that I know they're going to move around a little bit more freely inside my shaker. These ghosts are really cute. Fun thing for a shaker on any really Halloween card. And a fun kind of not so spooky color combination, right? All right, we got a few bunched up here, and then I'll bring in some of my shaker pop beads. So I showed you the Halloween mix that we have, but we also have them in the shop in individual colors. So that is really fun to mix and match and make your own mixes. And then these colors are going to coordinate really well with, you know, what I have going on with these little ghosts. So I'm just using a little spoon here. I've had this for a long time. It's from when I used to homeschool my kids. They're too old for that now. But it was from a science kit. And of course, you know, being a crafter, you're like, oh gosh, I could use that for some other things, you know? And they work great for little shakers. All right, so we've got plenty of shaker bits in there. I don't know, maybe I need more. Do you ever do that? Like, oh gosh, I think I need more in there. And then you get too much, or you think you're fine and it's not enough. Yeah. All right, so we've got this ready to go. All we need to do now is remove the backing off of our foam tape. And if you find this to be a tricky thing to do, always use a pokey tool. You know, these do come off pretty easy, I have found. But, you know, sometimes when you're doing it on camera, they don't want to cooperate as much. All right, did we get them all? I think so. And being the paranoid person that I am adding a little bit of liquid glue on top of mine. That's just the way I roll. I really like to make sure things are not going to come apart later. That is not cute. I'm all about cute cards, I guess, today especially. But I have had cards where the adhesive over time can, you know, come loose, especially if it's in a hot climate, which I live in a hot climate. So yeah, then we just stick that down like so. I'm going to make sure all my edges are good before I really, yeah, everything looks great. Press that into place. Oh my goodness, that is cute. Okay, we now need to stick on our stem. There is a separate die for that. And I have some little pieces left of my foam strip. I always save those for occasions such as this. And I like to use the same adhesive here as I used on the rest, because then I know it's going to be the same height as my pumpkin. So we'll fill this in, and I am that person that uses probably more foam adhesive than the next. I'm a stickler for adhesives. Okay, we'll get that on there with the pointing out, and then we're ready to go. So I'm trying to incorporate all of the colors in my shaker pop mix. So I've got this kind of aqua color here that I think goes really well with those ghosts. Yeah. And then the wavy edge will match up on both of those. You know, if you can stick it down straight, that's the key. Okay, next up, we're going to stick down this little spider. Remember, this is from those Oh So Spooky Gnomes, the die set. And I just love a little accent like this for lots of things. So I like to kind of shop my stash and see what I have from different die sets that I can incorporate and kind of give new life to. And so that's what I did here. And this is just going to go from the tip of the stem right onto the pumpkin. Look. So that's fairly easy to do. And now I want to do a little something for the inside of this card. We're going to bring in this piece that I already ink blended and this die right here from this same die set. And I'm going to put it at the top so that the ends are just right here going off of the edge of the pumpkin. I'm going to create a little opening, and we need to bring back the die machine, and we'll run that through, and we're going to just make a little pocket to put a gift card in. So I love that we have this little die here. It does give it a little touch of authenticity. You know, if you have a jack-o'-lantern, chances are the top has been cut off and you've scooped everything out. Do you guys still do jack-o'-lanterns at your house? My kids are getting older, but we still like to do them on occasion, in more of a, you know, teenager vibe, but still we find it fun. Okay, so because I'm putting this on the inside of my card, I don't want to pop it up, but I want to give it a little bit of space also. So what I'm going to do is take my rip and stick tape. This is 1/4 of an inch tape, and I'm going to put it just on 3 sides. I definitely do not want any of this adhesive to be at the top, because that's the opening where I would, you know, tuck in the gift card. So I'm just doing 3 sides, and I'm going to do something it's kind of weird, I think, but I've done this for years. I'm going to double this up. So this adhesive obviously is not very thick adhesive, but it does have a little bit, you know, of thickness. So I always feel like adding 2 layers is going to just barely lift this off of my paper. I mean, it's a theory. It's a theory. Maybe I need 1 more layer, but I'm going to go with 2 and it's going to work just fine. I mean, maybe it's all in my head and 1 would be just as good, but this is what I'm doing and I'm sharing it with you. Okay, here's our cute little card. I'm going to stick this over here on the left-hand side. This is going to give us a little spot to bring in our gift card. And we're going to tuck that in. just like that. Now, this is a very well-used gift card. I always keep some around for when I am making cards, and I have one that I can, make sure everything fits, but, eventually I put the real one in. Now we have this side of the card. So we need to bring in our Halloween, our Simply Sentimental Halloween set, and we're just going to stamp out one of these Halloween words. I like this one at the top here that's like scripty and cute, and I'm just going to be old school today and use a block. Yeah, and then we'll need some black ink. Bring in a little bit of the black to the inside. I have a fairly large scrap here. Yeah, we did good. Okay, we need to now die cut this out with the coordinating die. And all I need is this shadow layer here. Now I could have die cut it, right? And done that instead. So we'll do it this way. And then let me show you. I have a die cut one here so you can see the difference. See that? Isn't that fun? So I could, totally use that one too. But I'm going to go with the white on black, and I don't need all of this excess paper for sure. And we'll die cut this. And then we have our start of our sentiment. Now remember this, maybe I will use my other one. This did not die cut out very good. Yeah, we'll use this one instead. That happens, right? Now I can't even pick up the other one. Okay, but I want to stamp some sentiments to go with. So I'm going to bring back the stamp set, and we'll hope we do better this time. Okay, I'm going to do treat yourself this Halloween. I thought that was fun. And then, you give a little gift card and they can go treat themselves. It might be fun to give like to a teacher. And I'm going to just leave the Halloween here, about where I think it's going to go. And then we'll stamp. Speaking of old school, this definitely is old school. Stamping right on the inside of my card on a video, hoping it's going to go well. But you know what? Like I said before, it is all about fun and enjoying yourself, right? It doesn't always have to be about the card being absolutely perfect because it is a handmade card. All right, now we'll glue down our sentiment. Ooh. With a little dot of glue on there, and that's going to be perfect. Treat yourself this Halloween. All right, we have completed our jack-o'-lantern shaped shaker card, gift card holder in some non-traditional colors. I think it is really fun. I will show you my original one. Oh, this one's much more pink. A lot more ink blending on this one. And the stamped version. Let's see, which one do we like better? Oh, I think I like this one. So it was a happy accident, as Bob Ross would say, right? Yes, it all worked out in the end. So those are my pumpkin shape cards. I just love this die set. So I played with it and had lots of fun creating all these different ways to use it. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I thank you for stopping by and letting me stamp with you. Happy stamping! Thank you so much for being here with me today and letting me share some card making with you and Trinity Stamps products. Make sure you go over to the blog for this video and you can see pictures of the cards that I shared with you and some from our design team as well. You can find us at trinitystamps.com. We are looking forward to stamping with you again soon.